Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk, and I want to welcome you to our weekly segment, From Someone Who Knows. This is a chance for us to take a story that is occurring this week, that has made headlines, and take it a little further for you, let you maybe it's inside the story more than what we can show you on Channel 19. On our evening news, we get maybe 2-3 minutes to tell you a story, but here on our digital platforms, you'll get much more of the story. And this week, we are talking about the case of Amanda Dean. This is a case that dates back to 2017. She was a mother of 4, and at the time she went missing, it was reported by family that she was gone and had been missing. But the Huron County Sheriff's Department at the time got involved and simply told the family that she was in a battered woman's shelter, and they would not tell the family which shelter, just that she was okay. And it went months and months before any contact, and in fact there was no contact. And it wasn't until the family got frustrated with the Huron County Sheriff's Department that they got involved with the group here in Cleveland called Cleveland Missing. In full disclosure, at the time I was sitting on the board of Cleveland Missing. They had nowhere else to go. They turned to Chief Majoy, who was president at the time, to get help. Chief Majoy, and this was in 2023, did what he could and reached out to the Ohio Attorney General's office and BCI. They wanted to see if they could get help from the incredibly talented investigators at the Bureau of Criminal Investigations at a state level. And when they did so, it was very fruitful. There were several resources spent by the Ohio Attorney General's office, and they were able to put some pressure. And at the time, it was a question of whether or not her boyfriend at the time, Frederick Rear, had anything to do with the case. Using information from interviews with Frederick Rear, from their resources, there were a couple of searches out in Huron County by BCI in which they brought in cadaver dogs. They dug, but they never found the body of Amanda Dean, and her family obviously heartbroken, looking for answers. And it took quite a bit of investigating and finally some charges. There was information posted this week or put out this week by the Ohio Attorney General that was news to us after Frederick Rear pleaded guilty to a number of charges, including involuntary manslaughter, gross abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. He has since pleaded guilty. He did that on Monday to those charges. He will be sentenced later, and we're going to play for you not only the sentencing, the verdict of him pleading guilty, but it's interesting in the way it starts. As the judge is asking him if Rear knows his rights, if he understands what's going on in the court, and that he can go to trial instead of making this plea deal. Rear starts to, and we see this often with suspects, defendants in court, start reaching for straws. And Rear says when it came to the question of his performance by his attorney, he starts to say he's not real happy with the amount of time his attorney spent with him. The judge had to put on the brakes a little bit. The judge wants to make sure that this doesn't have a chance of an appeal because a client or a defendant felt he wasn't represented well by his attorney. So in the beginning of hearing Rear plead guilty to those charges, you'll hear his last-ditch effort at sort of making an excuse in this process to try and delay things. The judge talked it out and ultimately went through the charges in which he pleaded guilty. So take a listen to this clip of Rear in court this week. First, make excuses, and then eventually pleading guilty to this case of a missing mother of 4 dating back to 2017.
In other words, has he shared the discovery with you, the police reports, those types of things?
Yes.
All right. And have you had a chance to discuss with him any possible defenses that you might have to those charges?
No, I haven't.
All right. Do you need additional time to do so at this point? And Mr. Rich, have you had those kind of discussions with him?
Yes, we have, Your Honor, several.
Absolutely.
Do you need some additional time with your attorney before you go forward?
No.
All right, you feel comfortable that you have had a chance, you had an opportunity to discuss those things?
I don't feel no. My lawyer don't come out and see me.
Well, if you need additional time, now this is the time to ask for it. If you're prepared to go forward with the plea, I'm happy to take it, but if you tell me you need time to speak with your attorney before we go any further, we can take a break.
Your Honor, there have been multiple client conferences, not including this morning. Saw him again on Friday, saw him before almost every court appearance, reviewed the discovery.
Only in this room over here, you don't come out to the jail that much, Your Honor. I'm not making a big stink about it right at this moment, but you can check the jail logs.
All right, my question, I guess, is do you need more time with it?
No, sir.
All right. Then with regard to count one, the offense of tampering with evidence being a felony of the 3rd degree, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
And with regard to count 2, gross abuse of a corpse, a felony of the 5th degree, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
And with regard to amended count 5, involuntary manslaughter, a felony of the 1st degree, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
And lastly, on count 6, tampering with evidence, felony of the 3rd degree, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Are those pleas being made voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood the proceedings here in court today?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about what we've done up to this point?
No, sir.
Then the court finds the defendant's been advised of his constitutional rights, he's made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of those rights. Court finds that the defendant's plea was made knowingly, voluntarily, with an understanding of the charges, the maximum penalties, and the effect of entering the pleas. Defendant's pleas of guilty are accepted. Findings of guilty are made as to counts 1, 2, amended count 5, and count 6. At this time, we're going to circulate the plea agreement for signature. Again, we've assigned the matter for sentencing on January 5th at 9 o'clock. The court would, at this point, revoke bond pending the sentencing.
Dan DeRose here as we watch this court that played out in Huron County on Monday. This is routine. This is the signing of the paperwork, the plea deal that was just announced in court. But I want you to notice what the judge is going to say something very interesting here as he talks about sentencing coming up on January 5th. Remember, there has been no body found in this case, and for them to get to a plea deal, you have to wonder what conversations took place between the state and the defendant. There we see Amanda Dean's mom, we see Chief Majoy, John Majoy on the right side, but he's going to talk about some things we're going to learn once we get to sentencing. So pay attention to how the judge phrases this coming up.
All right, then at this time, Mr. Rear, is that your signature on the plea?
Yes, sir.
All right. And as far as sentencing, then, I ask victims' advocates to make sure that any victim impact or input would be brought forward to the court. We discussed prior to coming out the potential for a pretrial or pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Rich, did you inquire any further on that?
Your Honor, we're going to waive his right to a pre-sentence investigation.
All right, okay, very good. Then we'll see you back here on the 5th. Anything further you want to put on the record today?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and we'll indicate, I do appreciate the cooperation that we've had from counsel. This matter's gone on for a very long time. Eventually, the reasons for that would be disclosed, and certainly understand how we got here today. Look forward to seeing you all back here on the 5th for sentencing. In other words,
As you heard the judge say, eventually the reasons for that will be disclosed, that this has gone on for a very long time, this negotiation into a plea deal, and that eventually the reasons for that will be revealed. More than likely, there was a discussion with the defendant, Rear, about the location of Amanda Dean's body. You have a family who has never been able to bury a mother, a son who has been very vocal, her 4 children that just are wondering after all these years if they can ever get that portion of this journey of a funeral, a memorial service, to finally reclaim the body of their daughter, their sister, their mother. Coming up, we're going to take a quick break, but coming up, you're going to hear from Chief Majoy. He, again, is the Newburgh Heights Police Chief, but he was once the president of Cleveland Missing. That's how this case really was shoved forward after it sat dormant for so long by the Huron County Sheriff's Department. It was that shove forward, getting BCI involved, that led to finally Frederick Rear pleading guilty. You'll hear his entire interview about the family, what they've been through, and how they feel about this plea deal, knowing that there still has been no body located for Amanda Dean. So again, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. And welcome back to From Someone Who Knows. And we are about to hear from Chief John Majoy. He has basically become the family spokesperson for the Amanda Dean case. We do finally get a guilty verdict from the former boyfriend of Amanda Dean. Frederick Rear will be sentenced January 5th. After hearing Frederick Rear say guilty 3 times, actually 4 times, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, 1 count of gross abuse of a corpse, and 1 count of involuntary manslaughter. We were able to spend some time with Chief Majoy to talk about how the family felt about this process of finally getting a verdict and moving towards sentencing, even though the body of Amanda Dean has never been found. So now again, Chief John Majoy, who again used to be the president of Cleveland Missing, the Gina DeJesus Foundation, who has really himself and that organization shepherded this case along.
So almost 3 years ago to the day, Cleveland Missing became involved in the Amanda Dean case when the family had reached out to us, and that was my involvement. We did a press conference in early January 2023 where the family kind of outlined what had been going on for the last 5 to 6 years with Amanda Missing, and not a whole lot had been done. And at that meeting, at that press conference, I made a commitment to that family that I was going to see this through however long it takes, even into retirement if I had to. And I have lived up to that. I'm going to continue to live up to that as long as necessary. Have gotten really close with the family, and boy, they're amazing people. They got more strength in their little finger than most people that you're ever going to want to know.
Let's do the math. How many years ago since she was missing?
It was July of 2017.
So it's eight, am I saying 8
Yep,
years?
over 8 years.
Given what you just said about the family, how are they feeling about this process and where it came to today?
So we've been working with the family for a long time and trying to mentally and physically get them prepared for that. But really there's no amount of time or effort or anything you can say that can be replacement of listening to the individual who killed your loved one finally fess up and plead guilty, and pled guilty because he did it. And so those are some really strong words for the family to hear. So very emotional. It's going to take them a while to process this. But again, they've got a lot of strength. They've got a lot of strength in numbers. They've got Cleveland Missing to support them. And so they're doing really well given the circumstances. And today was just a huge, huge victory for them.
Some accountability by...
Absolutely 100% accountability.
Do you know the numbers, how long they had been dating, that kind of thing?
I don't know that
Okay.
they had been together.
We have all that in prior scripts. I just
Yes.
want to touch on a few points. And he's admitting to I mean, we don't have, how circumstantial is this case? What is he admitting to? No body.
So he is admitting that he did in fact kill her. There's a bill of particulars which will give the specifics, tampering with the evidence and gross abuse of a corpse. And so he's admitting to all those. And so I think that there's one thing to note, and that is that it's a murder case without a body, but it doesn't make it a weak case. And so the result of a plea arrangement was not a result of it being a weak case. In fact, it was a very strong case, and we felt very confident that there could be a conviction out of it. But when you look at a plea arrangement, you also look at the impact that it will have on the family to go through what they've gone through for the last 8 years. And so, this would really open up a lot of old wounds that they had. They were fully prepared, invested, and ready to do it if need be. But today was just a good day for them.
If you know this, did he give police any locations false, so they may have been, didn't turn up anything like a body? I mean,
so
it's been a long.
It has been. So there were some searches. There were some searches that were conducted. BCI went and they dammed up a creek, and they brought in a team of anthropologists to go and search the creek. They searched about 1,000 feet of that, which is long, and but you're looking for a needle in 1,000 haystacks there. They didn't find anything, but they're pretty confident that what happened is what happened. And today's plea basically solidified that.
And he admitted.
He did admit to it.
So I mean, that's a confession, admission, whatever you want to call it.
It is.
No body, but the person says, I'm the doer.
Right.
You've got the strongest case. Anything else that anybody else is top of your head that I might be missing?
No, I think that on behalf of the family that they want to thank Attorney General Dave Yost, Ohio BCI, Agent John Soraya, Prosecutor Dan Caceres. That's the A-team, and they did an amazing job. This case had sat dormant for many, many years. When BCI took it, they took it and they hit the ground running. Sometimes you went a little while and didn't hear anything. That doesn't mean they were doing anything. They kept me in the loop on things. They did an amazing job. And I'm putting my police chief hat on now, an investigator hat, and I say they did an amazing job. This case had sat dormant for years, and nothing was done. And once BCI got a hold of it, look where we're at today, thanks to them.
And different responsibilities. Do you think after sentencing, will there be anything, not for our use, will there be any facts or tidbits that they're able to talk about?
I think so.
Okay.
I think you'll hear a lot more after sentencing.
And that's where we stand. Sentencing is coming up January 5th. We will, of course, be there for that because there are some questions. The Ohio Attorney General released a statement shortly after the conviction of Frederick Greer, saying that it was incredible work by BCI and that there was evidence in their home of violent crime in which Greer tried to clean up. And so that's where the tampering with evidence comes in. But that was really the first piece, the first nugget that as journalists we had been given as to why they were exactly keying on Frederick Greer. Now, we do think we will find out more in the sentencing. It is very possible that the prosecutor, the state, will get up and remind the judge on the record the facts of the case. If there was a bloody scene, if DNA was collected, what the conversations were from Frederick Greer. Did he ever admit to actually doing this? Did he send them in a direction of where to potentially find Amanda's body, or if he will be doing that now as a part of this plea deal when he is sentenced on January 5th. We ran that entire interview with Chief John Majoy because he is someone who knows. He is deeply connected with this family. She has a strong family, and they have been committed to her memory, to this process throughout the entire course of this journey, and it's unfortunately not over. I feel in a long shot, not only with the sentencing, but potentially some information after that. We do this every week. This segment, this show is from someone who knows, and it's a chance for you to learn more about a particular story. We have several full episodes on cleveland19.com. You can also scan that QR code. Will take you to some other episodes, and they really span the gamut, but they are always the most impactful stories that we have covered that week, so that you can get more than just what you see on Channel 19. So what we're going to do is that's going to wrap it up for this week's From Someone Who Knows. I'm Dan DeRose with Channel 19. Thanks for joining us.